We've all heard it, perhaps in school, in passing conversations, or from history books. Mungo Park discovered the River Niger. It's a common phrase, neatly packaged and easy to repeat. But let's pause and ask, can you really discover a place where people have already lived for thousands of years? Can a river that has fed civilizations and hosted empires suddenly become known only when a European sees it? Long before Mungo Park arrived in West Africa in the 1790s, the River Niger was no mystery to the people who lived along its banks. It was more than just water flowing through the land. It was a lifeline. The river supported fishing, farming, transportation, and vast trade networks. Kingdoms and empires like Mali, Songhai, and the Hausa city-states had risen and thrived along its shores. These societies had built cities, developed complex economies, and connected with the wider world, all with the River Niger at their center. So no, Mungo Park did not discover the River Niger in the truest sense of the word. What he did was different. Park was a Scottish explorer sent by the British to solve a mystery that puzzled European minds. Where does the River Niger flow? Where does it end? Its course was still largely unmapped from a European perspective, and Park's mission was to answer those questions. Over the course of 2 expeditions, he journeyed deep into the African interior and provided some of the first detailed European accounts of the river's route. In this sense, yes, Mungo Park made the River Niger known to Europe. He helped map it, wrote journals about it, and brought it into British geographic consciousness. But to the people who had lived beside it for generations, nothing about that river was new. His was not a discovery of the river, but a documentation of what others already knew. And that brings us to an important question. What does discovery really mean? You see, when history says a European discovered a river, a continent, or a people, it often overlooks one glaring fact. Those places were already inhabited. They had names, cultures, and histories long before they appeared in European maps or journals. It's not just Mungo Park. Take Christopher Columbus, who's often said to have discovered the Americas in 1492. But by then, millions of indigenous people had been living across those lands for centuries. They had complex societies, cities, agriculture, and spiritual traditions. In fact, even Vikings like Leif Erikson likely reached parts of North America hundreds of years earlier. So what Columbus really did was initiate European contact, not discover a new world. It was only new to Europe. So what counts as a true discovery? True discoveries are those that reveal something previously unknown to all of humanity. For example, in 1928, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, revolutionizing medicine and saving millions of lives. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick discovered the double helix structure of DNA, unveiling the fundamental code of life. In 1930, Pluto was discovered, a celestial body no one had ever known existed. In the deep oceans, scientists have found creatures in the Mariana Trench living in complete darkness, far beyond human reach until modern technology revealed them. And in 2015, physicists confirmed the existence of gravitational waves, ripples in space-time that had never been seen before. These are discoveries in the truest sense. No one had seen or understood these things before. They were unknown to all people in all parts of the world. That's why it matters how we use the word discovery, because the way we tell history shapes how we see the world and ourselves. Saying Mungo Park discovered the River Niger subtly suggests that it didn't exist in history until a European wrote it down. It implies African knowledge doesn't count until it's certified by Europe. But that's not true. African civilizations were rich, aware, and advanced. They knew their world intimately. So correcting this isn't about erasing explorers like Park. It's about giving credit where credit is due. So next time you hear the word discovery, pause and ask, discovered by whom? For whom? Because history, they say, is written by the victors. But truth can be retold and reclaimed. Discrepancies like the so-called discovery of the River Niger aren't just mistakes, they are erasures, but they're already being corrected. Not by force, but by fire by platforms like this one.
Flames and Truth.
Here, stories are told not as they were twisted to appear, but as they truly are, rich, rooted, and ours. So, if you believe in unearthing buried truths and lighting a flame that won't go out, subscribe, share, and keep questioning. Because the real discovery is just beginning.